This Thursday, December 6th, NBA Betting Picks edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code NBA SGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rebet, a new sportsbook available in 45 states. Download Rebet in your app store and use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and the NFL with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Everyone to the NBA Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Thursday, December 6th, a loaded schedule. December 5th, I'm sorry, I can't get my dates right today, but December 5th, Thursday, got a loaded schedule here in the association. Should be a lot of fun to go through all the games here on the schedule. But joining me here to help me break everything down happening on the hardwood, I got my guy here with me. You know him as Sevillum, the superstar of the show. It's Terrell Furman Jr. Terrell, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
Not much. Coming off a loser yesterday. That's not good, Never have any fun doing that. But nonetheless, we did get some spots right. The Brooklyn Nets, just handle business. The Pacers are an unserious basketball team, horrible basketball team. I should have just went ahead and locked up the Nets instead of chasing Atlanta and the Bucks.
Well, you know what? It's a new day. We'll bounce back like we always do here. So, we're still learning. I think at least for me, I'm still learning about these teams, even though we're about a quarter away through the season here. But it was a pretty good night of hoops. So, like you mentioned, not really much that stood out. The Nets just continue to be a well-coached team. I'll say that much. I think they hit a home run with the hiring of Jordi Fernandez there as their head coach. A lot of games to get through here today here. So let's just dive right into it, Terrell. Let's get into it here. We'll start with the first game on the schedule. We've got a pretty good matchup here in Cleveland. The Denver Nuggets, they are in Cleveland to take on the Cavs. Cavs currently laying 4.5 points in this game with a total of 234.5. Looking at the injury report, I'll start here with Denver. Aaron Gordon is probable here tonight with the right calf strain. And that is pretty much it for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Ty Jerome is questionable with an illness. Max Strus continues to be out. And other than that, everybody is a go. Cavs laying 4.5 here, hosting the Denver Nuggets. Terrell, what are you thinking about this matchup?
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned on why this line is so short. I saw it at 3.5 last night. It's only up to 4.5 now. And I just don't think Denver's that good, man. Like, I really don't. They're not good defensively. Yep. They struggle in playing anybody with the legit pulse in terms of being an actual legit team this year. They got blew out by the Knicks. They lost that game outright on the road as a 3-point favorite to the Clippers. I think this team is just playing bad teams right now. They caught Golden State in a lull where they can't do anything in the fourth quarter, but they were down 12 at that point. So, I think that the offense for Cleveland is going to be a little bit too much for them. I think that Evan Mobley is going to really, really challenge them on the inside. And we're going to see if Aaron Gordon's going to be able to slow him down here. Evan Mobley's been looking good all season. And I just don't know where Denver's going to get the rest of the offense from if you have freaking Jamal Murray, who's your second leading scorer and your second best player, and he's averaging 17 points on 40% from the field. Like, I really don't know where you're going to get all this additional scoring from. Michael Porter Jr. has been fine, but we'll see what Aaron Gordon brings back to the table. And Russ has just been bad in certain spots. He'll get up for you for a game, and then he really won't. Like, I just don't think Denver has the team this year that they can compete with somebody like the Cavs, who look like they have a full roster. So I'm all over the Cavs here, laying the points.
Yeah, Cleveland continues to be a top 5 defense. Offense slightly has fallen off a little bit here. The shooting just hasn't been up to par as to what it was at the beginning of the season for the Cavs. Denver offense, we know that hasn't been the issue. It's what you mentioned. It's a defensive side that they're right now over the last 5 games, bottom 7 in that category until I see that area improve for this team. I'm not sure I can really lay or even bet on them catching points here against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The matchup between whether it's Allen on Jokic or whether it's on Mobley on Jokic, I think that's going to be a fun one to watch. But I think you hit the nail on the head that it's just outside of Jokic, there's just hasn't been a consistent secondary scorer where it's supposed to be Jamal Murray. And again, Murray, like you mentioned, not shooting the ball well. A guy that should be averaging at least 20 plus points for you at minimum, being the second best player on this team here. So we'll see. They did get Aaron Gordon back, of course. Maybe it takes a little bit for him to get up to speed again, but I think at some point I will soon start betting on Denver, but I think it's not the spot right here in this first game on there. I believe there's a road trip here to the East Coast. So I'm with you on the Cavs here, minus 4.5 total. Sit at 234.5, Terrell. Anything on the total?
I would go over. I'm still questioning of the Denver Nuggets defensively. I think the Cavs offensively still have it figured out and look good all year. Maybe there's a situation where honestly, man, what if the Cavs kind of blow them out? That's what's concerning me. Give me a Cavs team total over.
Yeah, I was looking at that. It's at 119.5 right now for the Cleveland Cavaliers here against the Denver Nuggets. I think that would be the way that I would look here as well. I wouldn't be shocked if it does get up and over the total. Like I mentioned, Denver's offense hasn't really been the problem. It's really been their defense. Just giving up easy points inside the paint and layups and things like that there. So yeah, I'll go over. Couldn't talk you off of the Cavs team total as well in this game. All right, before we continue the conversation here for the NBA schedule, let me just remind everybody to download the SGPN app. It's completely free. You have access to all of our shows and all of our picks page free wherever you do get your app, whether it's App Store or Google Play Store. So make sure you download the SGPN app. It is completely free. All right, we'll move it along here to the Dallas Mavericks. They're in the nation's capital to take on the Washington Wizards. Mavs currently laying 14.5 points in this game with a total of 232. Looking at the injury report for this game for the Dallas Mavericks, Najee Marshall is going to be out. He's dealing with an illness, and that is pretty much it. For the Wizards, Malcolm Brogdon is questionable here tonight. Keyshawn George is also out. Corey Kispert is also out. And Kyle Kuzma. So Kuzma, Kispert, and George all out. Malcolm Brogdon questionable. And Patrick Baldwin Jr. questionable here as well. Mavericks laying 14.5 points here, Terrell. What are you thinking about this matchup?
Yeah, we still haven't gotten to the point where the Wizards have been able to be relatively competitive in a game all the way through. They're still shortest win margin, 9 points. I mean, loss margin, 9 points. That's it. 9 points. That is the best that they've ever been able to do in a game is 9 points. 14.5. I mean, I'm just completely been fading this team every single time out. Doesn't matter what the number is. Until they make a game relatively close, I'm just going to assume they're not going to be able to cover the number. I understand this is a larger one, and they have found their way to sneak around larger numbers here or there. No way. This is completely chalk. Give me the Mavericks.
Yeah, the problem with the Wizards has been is that offensively they just aren't able to score points. They're dead last over the last 5 games in offensive efficiency. The defense continues to be bad. And again, I've been riding their first half team totals to go under. That's been a very profitable angle this season for the Washington Wizards. Shout out to our guy, rcthemoneyballer.com, a great resource. Team total records. When the Wizards are a home underdog, they're a perfect 9-0 toward the under on their first half team totals. 15-4 overall to the under. So I think that's something I'm going to continue betting on. I think this turns into a blowout by the end of 3 quarters. I think Luka and company just come out here, take care of business, Kyrie, and they put this one to bed early. I mean, I'll lay it here, minus 14.5 with the Dallas Mavericks. Like their team total to go over. And again, like I mentioned, Wizards first half team total under, looking to go to a perfect 10-0 in the first half as a home dog. Total 232 here, Terrell. Anything on the total?
Over. I mean, no, actually, I'm going to go under. Give me under 232.5. I say the Wizards don't score.
Yeah, like I said, Wizards, they just haven't been able to score a whole heck of a lot of points. Dead last over the last 5 games in offensive efficiency. So I think that's something that just continues here today for this Washington Wizards team. All right, let's keep it moving here. Next game on the schedule, we'll go over to the North of the border, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are visiting the Toronto Raptors. Raptors currently laying 9.5 points in this game with a total of 226.5. Looking at the injury report, we'll start here with the Thunder. They are going to be pretty clean injury report. Of course, Chet Holmgren continues to be out. And that is pretty much it. For the Toronto Raptors, Bruce Brown is out. Grady Dick is questionable. Kelly Olynyk and Emmanuel quickly continue to be out here as well. So the usual guys as well out for the Toronto Raptors. Raptors catching 9.5 points here against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Terrell, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, I'm still going with OKC here. I'm back on my Raptors hate train. Give me OKC laying the points. They've looked a lot better with Isaiah Hartenstein back in the lineup. He's been able to give them a very, very solid defensive presence as a rim protector. And he's also been really, really good cleaning up the glass and help initiating offense and just feeding people outside of the post and hitting open shooters and those guys hitting shots. He's really settled them down offensively. SGA back in Canada, another angle that I liked. I love to go against here, and SGA having a good game. And I'm still fading this Toronto Raptors team defensively. I still think that they're still not all the way there defensively. It's been a little bit better the past couple of games. They've been able to bounce back in a back-to-back set against Miami and take care of a lowly Indiana Pacers team. But I think this is where pedal hits the metal and the OKC Thunder just running gun all the way up and down the court on this Raptors team. Maybe the Raptors put up points, but OKC puts up more. I think OKC could be in around 130 territory today. So I like OKC to get things done.
Yeah, I think defensively, the Thunder really need to get back to the way that they've been playing on the defensive side. I mean, you took a look, there were some struggles prior to the last game against the Jazz where the defense, wasn't up to par, but we usually expect. Gave up 120. Let me see where they at. They gave up 119 to the Rockets. Lakers offense has not been very good. They give 109 to the Kings, 99 to Portland. So I think they get back to those roots here.
Yeah.
Also, the Pacers, the Raptors coming off the game against the Pacers where they were a underdog in that game. I usually like fading those teams when they get those outright victories as a dog roll. Yeah, it was a very small dog roll. I think it was like 3.5 in that game. But this Thunder team, we've talked about it, like they're on a class of their own right now. Defensively, offensively, and again, Isaiah Hartenstein adding that rim protection to which was already a great defensive team for this Thunder team. I like his rebounding prop here tonight as well for Isaiah Hartenstein. I think that continues to be a profitable angle in this game. So Thunder team total over would be the look here as well. And then I would lay the points here with the Thunder here in this game against the Raptors.
And also, Jakob Poeltl updated to questionable. So he's been downgraded from into questionable with an illness. If there's no Jakob Poeltl in this game, like another quote unquote rim protector, another rebounder out, I think that Hartenstein has an amazing game and the Thunder roll.
If Jakob Poeltl is out, Isaiah Hartenstein could probably walk into 20 rebounds here tonight against the Raptors. All right, let's keep it rolling here. Next game on the board, we'll go over to the Charlotte Hornets. They are in Madison Square Garden to take on the Knicks. Knicks are laying 14.5 points in this game with a total of 218. Injury report for this game. I'll start here with the Charlotte Hornets. They will be without LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, Trey Mann, and of course Grant Williams. For the New York Knicks, Precious Achiuwa has been upgraded to questionable after missing a majority of the season, and Cam Payne is also questionable here tonight with the left elbow injury. Mitchell Robinson continues to be out for this New York Knicks team. So relatively healthy squad here for the New York Knicks. Not so much for the Charlotte Hornets without LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, and Trey Mann. Terrell, what are we thinking? 14.5 is the number.
Man, it's just I hope this really isn't one of those nights where it's just a bunch of blowouts around the league, man. I really, really hope. I'd love
Monday was that case.
Games. Yeah, but what's the case for Charlotte to make this a close game with the outs that they have?
I really couldn't, especially when your top offensive guys are out. Maybe it just turns into a bad shooting night for the Knicks coming off of what they did against Orlando. But even then, you still have other guys on this team that can.
And the Knicks kind of slept through the Knicks kind of slept through the first meeting, 99, 98. They had to battle back in that game as 12.5 point dogs on the road. I just feel like they're going to be a lot more locked in, a lot more intense in this one, and really, really focusing on home at a team that they just played a couple of games ago, and they saw that this team almost could have got an outright one against them. I I'm going, man, this is going to be an ugly night. This is going to be an ugly night. I think I predicted all 4 games that we talked about this
Chalk.
far to be blowouts. Yeah, I think that all 4 games are going to be blowouts to this point. I hope I'm wrong. I really am. Give me Knicks, laying a 14.5. Charlotte, I just can't. I don't know how they're going to be able to score at Charlotte.
Yeah, and that's a concern you have about the Charlotte team, that either you're hoping that the Knicks have a bad shooting night, they're able to stay competitive, but the Knicks at home have been actually pretty good as of late as well. I know defensively they aren't up to what we expect. At least I'm not expecting. They're not even top 10 in defense just quite yet, but I think they're trending towards that way. They've been better at home. I'll give them that much. For the Charlotte Hornets defensively, they're actually, or are they top 10 over the last 5 games? This is the offenses where they're not being able to put up scores. Obviously, when you have LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges out, they're bottom 3 as far as offensive rating goes over the last 5 games, 102.8. They've lost 5 straight games now. Um, I would. Knicks is the side here. I think Knicks team total over would be the look here as well. Seems like they're starting to get it going on offense. Back-to-back games where they scored 118 plus points. I think it's really telling what they were able to do against Orlando Magic as well, right? One of the better defensive teams in the league, and put up 121 points in that game. Yeah, it was a cup game, but I think this team is going to continue rolling here. So I'll go Knicks team total over. Knicks on the. I'll go first half. I think they take care of business in the first half. Do the New York Knicks go back to that old reliable that's been very profitable over the past couple seasons? Knicks in the first half would be the look here for me. Anything else for this game?
I don't think Charlotte's going to score. Charlotte team total under 101.5. Knicks have given up 106 to Orlando, 85 to New Orleans, and 98 to Charlotte in the past 3 games. I don't think Charlotte's going to be able to score in this one.
Hornets 2-6 ATS in the first half as a road underdog in those spots. They're also, I mean, this is not relevant because the number is going to be big, but they're 1-7 straight up in the first half as well. So they just don't come out playing very well in the first half of games there. So I think the Knicks do lock in here tonight and just take care of business. All right, Terrell, before we continue the conversation here for the next couple of games on the Thursday schedule, let me tell everyone about our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all sports. You can win up to 1,000x with Underdog Streaks. Underdog is always making it easier to win with profit boosts and gimme pick'ems. NFL, college football, college basketball, MMA, NASCAR, and much more. And you can now use specials and boosts on all flex entries. Definitely going to have Isaiah Hartenstein in my entry here tonight. I like him to go higher on his rebounds, but stay tuned. We will put together our Underdog Fantasy entry towards the end of the episode. So make sure you guys sign up with promo code NBA SGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Make sure you use our promo code NBA SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is a new social sports book available in 45 states. There are plenty of betting opportunities that are available on Rebet. It's easy to use and great for people in states where traditional sportsbook may not be available and are restricted. Download Rebet in the App Store and use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. That's Rebet, promo code SGPN. All right, next game on the schedule, we've got the Sacramento Kings. They are in Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. Grizzlies currently laying 3 points in this game with a total of 241.5. Looking at the injury report, I'll start here with Sacramento. They are going to be, where is Sacramento? Relatively healthy. Only Trey Lyles is out for the Kings. For the Memphis Grizzlies, Zach Edey continues to be out. Gigi Jackson and Vince Williams Jr. Are out there. So the usual suspects out for the Grizzlies. Grizzlies currently laying 3 points in this game here, Terrell, total of 241.5. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I am nervous that this might be a one time only showing of Road Kings. Very, very nervous. I do really, really like Memphis. Memphis has been very, very good to the number for us, 10-5-1 as a favorite this season. But as I know, there's something about when those Kings get in a good spot on the road that they are very, very pesky against the other team. I
Mhm.
think that the scoring can be up today, and I think that that's probably how I'm looking to play this. I think that an over in terms of the total is the play, but I'm really, really nervous. I call it a gut feeling, call it whatever, but I've seen this spot so many times where the Kings have gone and played really good competition on the road and given them a game as a dog. And I think that's one of these spots where John Morant, everybody is expected to play for this Memphis team, and the Kings can go out there and really, really just give them a game and be able to score offensively. I think DeMar DeRozan can have a really good game in this one. They did implement Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox together in that starting backcourt, so we're going to see
Yeah.
how that looks. Like I think that they have enough offensive options that they can really, really put together a nice rotation against that defense and be able to score the basketball. So Sabonis on the glass and the rebounding of this team, I think I like Kings +3 to believe it or not. It's not too many times that I'm fading Memphis, but how they blew that game against Dallas is sitting on my mind as well. And I think this is a pretty good spot where the Kings can get up randomly for a really big road game. So I like the Kings to be able to get this done here, but the over seems like the play that I like the most. I think we're going to see a lot of points. It's at 241 right now, and
Mhm.
it's that high for a reason. I think that they're going to be
Yeah.
able to score. So I love the over of these two teams, and if I like the over, I like the Kings in over games.
Yeah. So when these two teams have matched up in Memphis since the 2018 season, the Grizzlies are 4-7 ATS in those spots, 8-3 towards the under. But again, it's just I don't put too much into these totals because there's a lot of roster turnover and different style of play.
Mhm.
In particular, just because Memphis is playing at the fastest pace in the entire NBA over the last 5 games, and we saw that in that second half of the Dallas Mavericks game where they came out
Fourth quarter. In the
in the
fourth, not
fourth.
even just
Yeah,
second half. In the fourth quarter, they
yeah,
absolutely didn't show up in the fourth quarter, and
yeah,
you can't not show up in the fourth quarter against the Kings team that has De'Aaron Fox and DeMar
tomorrow.
DeRozan on the
Yeah,
roster. Like that's scoring every step of the way. So yeah, I think we got to
yeah,
fade Memphis, man.
yeah. I mean, look, Memphis has been they're top 5 in defense right now, but I think they just haven't been able to put it together for the um entire 4 quarters. I think that's just been their inconsistencies right now. Sacramento is bottom 3 in defensive rating, which on the side, gun to my head, I would look at Grizzlies, but just what you mentioned, I think we see points in this game. This could be a game where we see 250 plus points combined in this game. So if you're betting overs for player props, like this would be the game you want to take a look at for this matchup. So over for me, 241.5 in this matchup. Anything else for this game, Terrell?
Nope, good to go.
All right, next game on the board, we'll go over to the Chicago Bulls. They are in San Antonio to take on the Spurs. Spurs currently laying 2 points in this game with a total of 236. Looking at the injury report, I'll start here with Chicago. Lonzo Ball is out, and Kobe White is out. Patrick Williams is out as well. Josh Giddey is questionable for this game. He does have a right ankle sprain. For the San Antonio Spurs, Wimby, Trey Jones, and that is pretty much it. So no Wimby tonight for the San Antonio Spurs, which just means I know which role will go with this. But let's start with the side here. Spurs -2 hosting the Bulls.
Well, finally they got that bum out the way, and we can start getting to the real stars of this team. Devin Vassell's gonna have a game, man. And I'm not just saying that as a homer. Look at the Chicago Bulls defense. They've been dead last in points per game in the last 10 games. They
They're
haven't
terrible.
been able to stop anything. They couldn't they couldn't stop a refrigerator from running. They couldn't stop a cold. They couldn't do anything. This defense has been absolutely horrible. And the San Antonio Spurs have been a really, really solid team. Believe it or not, since Pop has gone down, they've started to figure things out, and they've started to really, really look legit. And so, yeah, you're telling me that now you're bringing Devin Vassell, who's getting healthier and healthier. Look at his past 2 games; he has double back-to-back 20-point games. This is literally where his production is always at when he's healthy. A healthy Devin Vassell is very, very nerve-wracking. I think that Chris Paul is going to have a good day in terms of the assists and
Yep.
setting up guys like Stephon Castle and all of that. So I think that this is a good game where the Spurs are going to be able to score. And look at the Spurs' last 10 games. I know they haven't been good to their team total over in the last 10 games. They've only gone over 6 of the last 10. I mean, they've gone under 6 in the last 10. But look at the 4 games that they went over. They went over twice against the Utah Jazz. They went over against the Washington Wizards, and they went over against – who was that last bad defensive team that they played?
The Spurs.
The
They
Spurs
played
and they went over
Sacramento.
and the Sacramento Kings. So they went up Sacramento Kings. They were able to score 120 plus. Utah Jazz and twice, and the Washington
Lakers.
Wizards. No,
Yep.
not even the Lakers. Lakers are actually middle of the road. I'll give
They
them
lost
that.
that game. Sorry,
But
yeah.
those 4 games, those teams are bottom 5 in terms of opponents' points per game scoring. And they were able to score 120 plus points, and now they're getting the Chicago Bulls. So this team isn't going to be able to score against anybody with a pulse on defense, but if you're not trying at all, they're going to hit wide open shots. I love the San Antonio Spurs here. I think this is a great spot where they can score. I like Spurs team total over. It was at 18.5 when I got it last night. Let's see if the line has moved here. Yeah, still at 18.5. Still at 18.5 for the San Antonio Spurs. I love their team total over. I will take Spurs laying 2 for the game. I think Chicago is not good. Chicago coming off of a win, 1-7 straight up this season, 2-6 ATS. They're coming off of that big win against the Brooklyn Nets where they covered 7.5. I think this is now the letdown spot. Spurs get the win.
Yeah, this is a game where number 1 is what you mentioned, Spurs team total over. It's just how terrible this Chicago Bulls defense has been on the course of the season. And you mentioned the number of points that they're giving up, especially in the road games as well. They like to play at a fast pace. They're not very efficient, but they're playing at a fast pace. I'll take that back. They are top 3 in offense there, but I think that even without Wemby in this game, you mentioned guys like Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, CP3, Keldon Johnson coming off of the bench for this squad. There's going to be enough there for this team to put up points against the Chicago Bulls team. So another game that I do like a lot of points being scored. I'll take the Spurs here minus the 2 against the Chicago Bulls. Again, with the guys that are not playing in this game for the Chicago Bulls team, you're relying a lot on guys like Josh Giddey, who even is questionable here tonight. Zach LaVine maybe gets his points, but other than that, it's just without Kobe White, I just think this team will really struggle. They're very, very thin in that backcourt without Lonzo Ball and Kobe White in this game. So Spurs minus the 2, Spurs team total overs, full game over as well. Anything else for this game?
No, I'm good.
All right. Next game on the schedule. I believe this is the last game of the night.
No, two more.
We got 2 more. I'm sorry. All right, we've got let's go Phoenix Suns. They are in New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. I thought I did the banner for this, but let me do one real quick. Yeah, we've got the Suns. They are in New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. Currently, as it stands, the line for this game, the Suns are a 3-point road favorite here with a total of 222.5. Looking at the injury report, we did get the news yesterday of Kevin Durant. It's going to be missing around 1 to 2 weeks here again for the Phoenix Suns. Outside of that, Bradley Beal is available tonight to play. Yusuf Nurkic continues to be out as well. Ryan Dunn is probable. For the New Orleans Pelicans, guys that are officially out, Jose Alvarado, Jordan Hawkins, and Zion. Questionable tags on Brandon Ingram and Herb Jones and Missy. I did see that Brandon Ingram and Herb Jones did fully participate in practice on Wednesday, so do expect them to be out there here for the Pelicans against the Suns. But Suns are laying 3 points on the road here against the Pelicans. Terrell, what are we thinking?
Nothing. I got distracted because JR is talking about Devin Vassell not cashing his points prop when he's been over in 11 of the last 15 games he's played in. He's
Oh,
throwing me off here. The Devin Vassell disrespect, I just can't ignore it. I really can't.
50 piece incoming tonight.
11 of the last 15 games, I have cashed this prop. I don't understand. I don't understand the hate. Here we are. We're talking about the Suns and the Pelicans, and I don't know why we're talking about it. Is there any way that you can ever like? I understand what the Suns have been without Kevin Durant, and it hasn't been good. It hasn't.
No,
It really hasn't. It's
no.
been ugly. Is there at any point that you can possibly take the Pelicans?
I can't, man. I really can't. This team is unless I see Brandon Ingram out there tonight and Herb Jones at that point I'd consider it, but this team has just been absolutely terrible.
I would like to point out that they have recent. Here are the recent games: 124, 112 to the Hawks, 118, 85 to the Knicks, 120, 109 to Memphis, 119, 93 to Toronto at home. They even lost to the Pacers. This Pacers team that I just roasted, they even still lost to them. They covered the spread though. Pacers are horrible. And
That's what
Pacers are
matters.
really bad. They covered the spread though, but they still lost the game. There's no way I can reasonably take this Pelicans team right now. I need these guys to get their roster back and actually look competent, and I just don't think that's it. Whereas I'm just gonna lean on Bud figuring out with the pieces that he has over the Suns. And this is an ugly game. I'm not betting it, but give me the Suns.
Yeah, it's Suns for me, like you mentioned, until I see this roster back. Even outside of Zion, they said he's still gonna miss. I think he's done for the year at least for at the 2024 year, I should say. Maybe he comes back in 2025. But if Ingram's out there, they do get Herb Jones back. I think obviously that only helps this Pelicans team. Man, it's just really bad right now. I feel like they're begging you to take the Pelicans here at home, but I'll take Phoenix here. I think Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, they find a way to get it done here for the Phoenix Suns. Total 222 and a half feels high to me, man. I like the under in this game. Even without Durant, they've struggled to score points, but this Pelicans team offensively has just been atrocious there. So I'm 100% on the under 222 and a half.
I think I'm actually gonna go over. They've been
Okay.
Phoenix has been pretty bad to the number this season, 6-2 to the over on the road. And I think that this is a spot where we might see the Pelicans, especially if BI comes back. This is probably the healthiest that they've been in a while. So they probably
Mhm.
give a little bit of fight in this, but to just believe that they're going to be able to go out here and win and keep this game close at the end, I think they blow this in the fourth quarter. But I think that they give us a game for maybe the first half or first, 3.5 quarters or something like that. But I just don't expect them to be able to handle this and keep this game close and get a win in the fourth. But I do think that they'll be able to compete. So I'll take an over 222 and a half. I actually feel pretty decent about that, but no way I can put money on the Pelicans.
Yeah, well, eventually they will turn it around, but I don't think it's going to be in this game against the Phoenix Suns or until they do get healthy. All right, before we get to the last game of the night here, let me just tell everyone about our good old friends over at mybookie.ag. Hey, believe it or not, SGPN started out with mybookie.ag. They've still been around. Check out their new and improved website. It's great on mobile, plus props for every game and the live dealer casino as well. They even have a new early cash out options available on MyBookie. So head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. Again, make sure you use that promo code SGPN. They'll also throw in a $10 casino chip as well. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. SGPN's powered by Rhythm is the number one AI powered back sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, and props. Build your own model, copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard, or have Rhythm build a model for you. And NFL picks, NFL props, college football, college basketball, NBA, Rhythm has it all. And tonight, the Rhythm model does like Bilal Koulibaly to go over his 10.5 points here tonight. Rhythm is predicting he has 16 points here tonight against the Dallas Mavericks. So claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. All right, last game of the night should be a great one. We've got the Houston Rockets. They are in the Bay Area to take on the Golden State Warriors. Rockets laying 3.5 points in this game with a total of 219 and a half. Starting to see some 220s pop up on the total. Injury report. Start here with the Houston Rockets. They will be without Tari Eason. He's in concussion protocol. Fred VanVleet is also questionable here tonight for the Houston Rockets. Cam Whitmore is on G League assignment. For the Golden State Warriors, no Draymond, no Steph. DeAnthony Milton, unfortunately, lost for the season with the ACL injury. And also Wiggins is questionable here tonight. So their top guys there, at least two are confirmed out. And Andrew Wiggins is also questionable here tonight for the Warriors. Rockets laying 3.5 here. Terrell, what are your thoughts on this game between the Rockets and the Warriors?
Yeah, well, I might as well take Warriors first half because it seems that they're going to blow the game at the end of the game in the fourth quarter. I mean, the Warriors over the last 5 games have the worst margin in the fourth quarter of anybody in the league, even the Wizards. Anybody in the league, the Warriors have the worst margin, and they haven't been able to keep things relatively close at all in the fourth quarter. I think that that's going to be the difference in the game. If they can compete in the fourth quarter, they're going to be able to cover this number because I do believe the Warriors are a really good basketball team. They've been playing really, really well this season, but they're going through a horrible stretch of games right now.
Mm-hmm.
They found a way to be able to keep that game close against Denver. We covered the spread, didn't get the money line win. I had
Think we lost Terrell there. Terrell, you there? All right. Well, I'll start with the handicap here. So I guess I've been a little biased, or not biased on my team, but I've been, I guess, a little skeptical about my team with the Rockets here after the start that they have gone on to. Um, half a game out in the Western Conference. Offense has been a little inconsistent because I've talked a lot about Jalen Green and his inconsistencies for this Rockets team, and it just hasn't been there for him. Outside of that, like Fred VanVleet has looked really good. Şengün has been really good for this team as well. Tari Eason coming off of the bench for the Rockets has been really good as well. I just want to see Jalen Green be a little bit more consistent. The part that I'm struggling with right now with this Golden State Warriors team is that as great as they were defensively in the beginning of the season, over the last 5 games, they have fallen down to number 20. And their net rating is at minus 7.7. So now without Steph, now without Draymond Green, and again, I think Wiggins has honestly probably been their best player, if not their second best player on this team. I know he was dealing with a lot of personal stuff offline. Last season and wasn't really playing for this Warriors team, but he's looked really, really good for this Golden State Warriors team. But he has a questionable tag. You're already without Draymond. You're already without Steph. Then you're relying on guys like, the Kamingas of the world, the Brandon Pajemskis of the world. And this Rockets team defensively has actually been really good. Like, they've really bought in on the defensive side of the basketball. So my first look in this game was going to be the under. The number is kind of moving against me right now, but if this number continues to climb, maybe come post, I will come in on the under for this team, at least for this game. And again, these two teams do match up on Tuesday in that NBA Cup game as well. So keep that in mind. Maybe the Warriors sitting there, guys, because of that case. Maybe, I'm not sure there, but I'm gonna take the points here with the Golden State Warriors plus the 3.5. The Rockets have been really, really good at home this season. It's just I think that they're going to continue struggling on the road here, and I'm trying to pull up their ATS numbers at least on the road for this Rockets team here. So on the road this season, 6-4 straight up, 6-4 ATS, which is at 60%, of course. But you take a look at the quality of opponents that they have played on the road. It just hasn't been the toughest competition. But you also take a look at on the road this season within the Western Conference, 3-3 straight up and 3-3 ATS. And with the Warriors, I think that they want to get that sour taste out of their mouth, what transpired against the Denver Nuggets there. So with the Warriors at home this season, 5-3 straight up, 5-3 ATS. And if it is against the conference, 4-2 straight up, 4-2 ATS. So I'll bank on the Warriors to get the outright victory here. So give me the Golden State Warriors plus the 3.5 here against the Houston Rockets. If Van Vliet's not going in this game for the Rockets, I like it even more. For the Golden State Warriors side, like I mentioned, he is questionable here tonight for this Rockets team. And also Tari Eason, who's been a really big boost of energy for this Rockets team, also out here tonight for the Rockets. So give me the Golden State Warriors plus a 3.5. And I will also take the under 220 in this game for the Houston Rockets. Terrell's having some power issues. His power keeps going out here. So we'll see if we're able to get him back and on the pod here. So that's the last game of the night here for the Thursday schedule. I'll get over into my pick segment here. And then hopefully maybe we get Terrell back and also put together the Underdog Fantasy entry here for the Thursday night card here. So there's a lot of early chalk that we did like in this game. Like the Cavs, like the Mavericks, at least in the first half. Thunder also did like. So for my lock here tonight, I think I'm just gonna go with the over in the Chicago Bulls and the San Antonio Spurs game over 236. Yes, I know Wemby is not playing here tonight, but I mean, you just take a look at this Chicago Bulls team. They have just been absolutely atrocious this season on the defensive side of the basketball. In their road games, they are 7-4-1 towards the over. They're allowing 122 points per game. They're scoring 120 points themselves on the road, but like I mentioned, they're also playing at one of the fastest pace. I know Memphis, as I mentioned, they are with the fastest pace team, at least over the last 5 games in the entire association. The Chicago Bulls, the second fastest paced team, and they're also top 3 in offensive efficiency are the Chicago Bulls in that span as well over the last 3 games. So I have a team that plays fast. They're very efficient on the offensive side, and defensively, they have not been very good. So even without Wemby here tonight, I think the role players and the other stars on this team for the Spurs can step up, whether it's CP3, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle. They have guys coming off the bench that are playing very well for this team. So even without Wemby, I do like points in this game. I'll take the over 236 in the game between the Bulls and the Spurs. For my dog here tonight, as we get Terrell back, Terrell will go back to the Rockets and the Warriors game for you. We'll get that handicap for you in a second. For my dog, it's either the Kings or the Warriors. I'm going to go Warriors here tonight, even without Curry, even without Draymond, possibly without Wiggins. I feel like this Rockets team may be a little bit overvalued here tonight. I understand where the line is, where it's at because of those 3 guys possibly being out or 2 of the 3 being out. But I think the Warriors find a way here at home to get it done. I'll take the Warriors here on the money line plus 142 as my dog here. Terrell, if you want to go back to the Rockets and Warriors game, give your handicap there and then get into your lock and dog picks.
Yeah, it's the Rockets do look really, really good right now. Really good. But I took the Warriors last time. They were able to cover the spread for me. I think that they're starting to try to figure this thing out. And they've been really, really good to the Rockets recently, always giving them a game. I'm going to continue to back for them. This Warriors team beats the Rockets. I will take the Warriors to get it done, but don't like it. Definitely not about to lock this game up.
All right. I gave out my lock and dog. So I did take the Warriors as my dog here tonight. And then I took the over 236 in the Bulls and Spurs game as my lock. You want to give out your lock and dog?
All right. Let's see here. For my lock, Cleveland laying 4.5 against Denver. Don't think Denver is that good this year. Perfectly fine fading Cleveland. For my dog, he's had back-to-back 20-point games here. Let's figure out how we can get to the money on Devin Vassell today. Or should I not do that? Because I did give out. Is that double? Is that me doubling up here? That might be me doubling up. I might need another play.
Well, he's going to be in our Underdog Fantasy entry for sure. Already put
that yeah, for sure. 100%. That's no question here. Let's see. How do we want to? Man, I'm really chalk on the card today. I guess I guess I'm just going to trust my gut and go with Kings. I really
All
do
right.
think this is a King spot where the Kings just get up on the road and they're just pesky as hell and really, really annoying. That fourth quarter for Memphis is concerning, especially knowing how DeMar DeRozan and the Kings and De'Aaron Fox can get down in the fourth quarter. So give me Kings money line, and we'll add because it's at plus 135. Let's get a little bit more juice on there. Hold on. All of this other stuff is in my way from making this. Okay, so yeah, we'll take Kings on the money line, and we'll get DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, DeMar DeRozan, 20 plus points, Kings money line. That's plus 226. Pretty
All
good.
right. There we go. All right, let's put together our Underdog Fantasy entry before we wrap it up here. So I already added Devin Vassell, higher 17.5 points here tonight. What else do we like here tonight? I like CP3 assists just because I've been betting on point guards against the Bulls. But that's already in the same game, so I don't want to mess with that.
I
You want
mean,
to go
we can do it. I
Hartenstein
like CP.
rebounds?
I think CP's fine. Yeah, I like Hartenstein rebounds too. It's
All
pretty
right.
good play.
That one's spicy at 11.5, but I think you can get 12 here for sure. So we'll throw that in there higher. We'll throw in Chris Paul as well. I like the assists for him tonight. So
Yeah.
we'll let
That's 3.
we'll let Devin Vassell do the scoring, and we'll let CP3 get the assist here tonight. That one's also spicy. All right. So entry here for tonight, Devin Vassell, higher 17.5 points. Isaiah Hartenstein, higher 11.5 rebounds, and we'll go CP3 higher 9.5 assists. That's a 6.93 entry. So every $10 that you do put in, you'll get a return of $69.30. So again, get over there, underdogfantasy.com. Make sure you guys use our promo code NBA SGPN and come join the fun. All right, nice and tidy here. Got the job done. About 46 minutes. Terrell, anything else you want to mention before we get out of here?
I've been blindly backing Evan Mobley Reynolds. He's been really, really good. So I've blindly been backing him. I think Kenny Atkinson has found something in Evan Mobley. He's been really good scoring the basketball. And again, I'm just fading Denver defensively. So we'll see there. If I had to pick anything with Mobley, I've been playing his points and rebounds over, and that's been pretty good.
All right, there we go. All right, make sure you guys follow Terrell over on Instagram and on the Twitter machine at reallyreal__. You can follow me there as well at SportsNerd824. More importantly, if you haven't already, subscribe to the NBA Gambling Podcast YouTube channel. Please go and do so. We just surpassed 3,300. We're on the march to 5,000 before the NBA finals are over, so we can only do that with your help. All right, we'll be back tomorrow with myself and Lonte. So look out for us then. Same place, same time. Till then, good luck with your bets. Let's break these books off, and always remember to let it ride. Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it.